Shalom. How's everyone doing this morning? For those who don't know me, my name is Mr. Andrew Williams. I'm also known as the Homeless Author. My iWeb, www.awnovels.com. This morning, I'd like to take the time to speak about being a genius. Last night at Whole Foods Market, I met this beautiful young woman who worked there. I usually see her all the time. I observe her very closely. I always watch her. There's something about her that catch my attention. But last night was the first time that I engaged in a conversation with her. And we had a pretty good talk. We talked about psychic abilities, things like that. And what started the conversation, she thought I usually come to the Whole Food Market just to relax and just chill. Don't do anything. I'll be sitting there for 3 hours. And either I'm working on my stippling artwork or I'm listening to my iPhone as I'm charging it up. But either way, she's thinking I don't do much. What caused the conversation was I explained to her it may not seem like I'm not doing anything on the surface, but I am working very hard. Then she was kind of surprised. Then she asked, "What you mean?" And I told her straight up, "Well, on the surface, it looked like I'm just sitting here charging up my phone and just listening to whatever I'm listening to. But what you don't see, mentally, I am practicing singing." I didn't expect her to understand where I was coming from, but she nodded her head and smiled and said, "Oh, I understand." So that's how we got in a conversation about psychic abilities. And then I went on to explain that because I'm in public, I can't physically or externally practice singing out loud. So I have to get into a meditation state and practice singing mentally or internally. And then that helped develop my voice. So she was impressed that I knew what I was talking about. And she explained the best way she could. She experienced something similar like that herself, but not in great details. So we started talking more. Then she asked me what I do. I told her I got a few businesses out trying to get off the ground. I explained to her that I'm an author, have 3 novels out, as I used to work for the government as a child prodigy, a rare gifted genius. That right there caught her attention. Then I explained to her, as a rare gifted genius, we do things different than most people. As you see, as I do a lot of studying, I don't pick up a book or I don't actually physical practice much unless they have some kind of external application to it. But most of the time, I practice mentally or internally. That just don't help develop my physical aspect of my body, but that also help develop my mental state, make my mind mentally stronger and more aware. So she was impressed with that. So we engage more, talking about being a genius, what it means to be a genius, and having psychic abilities, what it's like to work for the government as a child prodigy. And so she listened. She found it very intriguing. I like talking to her. I don't meet too many women with her kind of spirit. She have the kind of energy that a natural energy that she's born with specific abilities. I don't want too many females like that. So I kind of talked to her about how to develop her own psychic abilities to get stronger. And she explained to me what she planned on doing. Going to some kind of school while here on at the university to develop her psychic abilities more, to understand more about it. So that's what she wanted to do. But see, she do seem like she has some kind of natural ability dealing with the mind. So we engage in that conversation. And she was impressed with the fact that how easily I read her energy, and from different perspective of my senses. So I think that's what caught her attention. I don't think she actually met somebody with psychic ability as strong as mine. But like I say, she was impressed. But I thought I'd just share this from a genius perspective, what it means to be a genius, how we do things in public, because the average person may look at us from one perspective, but they don't have no idea what we're exactly doing. Like, for example, you people, y'all go to school, you have to open up a book to study it, and that would take you hours to comprehend something you have not learned. But a genius like myself, we really don't have to open up a book to learn something or to understand something. All we have to do, we just focus on our thoughts on a specific subject, and then that we study that way. Our mind just quickly study the patterns of that subject. Then we come up with the solution or the answer of that specific subject. And I prefer it that way because it helped develop my mental state to become more stronger, more alert, and more active. As just sitting there, listen to a person to give instruction, or sitting there reading a book to find answers. You don't really develop your mental state as it's supposed to be developed. They only develop on a small scale. And at that, even at that, you don't really comprehend or learn what you're supposed to learn. So I prefer to do it my way. And that way, my mind continue to develop with all kinds of activities or energy to become superiorly strong. So that's one of the things I like being a genius or a well-gifted genius. You do things that the average person cannot do, or what no other individual can do. and you know things that other people don't know or understand. And then you learn things differently that other people cannot comprehend. And these just the small percentage of the price of being a genius or a well-gifted genius. So I thought I'd just share that. So you all have a good and blessed day. Shalom.